The little memory that I'd like to share with you has been tucked back in the depths of my mind for a very long time. It occurred around the late 60s in a little country town on the northern part of the island of Oahu in Hawaii. My family's property um, in the back right corner um, had a post, and it was about maybe an 8 by 8, and it was holding up this real rookety wired fence. And we had lots of plants, and so the plants were kind of holding the fence up. And we would go back and sit on that post and feed the neighbor's dog over the fence. And my mom would say, go give this to neighbor's dog. Well, neighbor was an old Hawaiian man, and I knew his last name, but we called him Neighbor. And he was so friendly, and he would enjoy us, seeing us and hearing us sitting on the fence feeding his dog. Well, after some years, he got too old, and he moved to live with his daughter in the next town. And so the house that he lived in, this old wooden dilapidated house that was about to fall down, was on the property, and we would go and play in the house. And I'm going to back up and add something to the story. I'm a person who loves shoes. I enjoy shoes, footwear of any kind. And at that time, there was a local product that all the girls were wearing, a slipper, and it had on the sole where your foot would be, it had glitter and shiny things and sparklies all in it, and I just would have just loved to have a pair of one of these slippers. Well, one day my parents actually came home from the store. It was on a Saturday morning, and lo and behold, they presented me with a pair of these slippers. I was so excited, and I put them on my feet, and I looked to see how they looked and how they fit with my toes, and I was so excited. Well, that afternoon I decided with my neighbors to go and play at the neighbor's house. And we would play house. So I had my slippers on, and we went over, and there was a broom there, so I proceeded to sweep the living room floor. And my friend was in the kitchen doing this and that, and we were just kind of playing house. And I remember it was quite dirty and dusty, and I was sweeping up all this dust and dirt and rubbish that had been lying around. And so it was getting between my feet and my slippers, and these were like, brand new, and I didn't want to get them dirty. I wanted to take care of them because my parents just didn't do things like this that much, fancy things like this, and I felt like a princess with these on. So I took them off and I set them together. I remember putting them together on the side, and I proceeded to sweep the rest of the rubbish up. Well, my mom would call us when she needed us to come home. So I could hear her over the back fence calling my name. So my friend and I darted out, and I went home to see what she wanted and to take care of whatever the need was. I don't remember. And it was a few hours later that I thought about my princess glitter slippers, and my heart sank. And I started to tear up, and I was like, oh no. So I ran next door to neighbor's old house, went in the living room, and burst myself through the door, and they were gone. They were not there. And my jaw dropped and my heart sank. And I did not even know what to do because it had only been a few hours. So I went over to my friend's house that was with me, and she had left with me. And she claims that she didn't know where they were. And we looked around and they were just nowhere. So the memory of having the most amazing pair of princess slippers was mine. I had them for about 5 hours, and that's the last I saw of my slippers.